Is this thing on? I have no idea. Okay. It says end broadcast, so I don't know what that means. I guess that's when I'm done, I push the end broadcast button. Oh boy. Well, we'll see how this goes. So, my topic today is Snow White, the Yin archetype. And what the modern people are forgetting, and what feminism is trying to promote and has been promoting for far too long now, and completely wrongly. I'm just sick of it. I'm so sick of feminism. Oh, God. It ruined my life. It did. I'm not made for the world. I'm made to be a homemaker. So I got pushed out into the world and I was trying to do all that world stuff, and it's not my thing. But God forbid I should have wanted to have been a wife in the olden days. Anyway, I'm just in a complainy, bitchy mood lately. I don't know. Are you? The retrogrades, the Mars in Cancer is just like, oh, Feus Mare, it's terrible out there. And then our government doesn't listen to us, and we don't want war, and they just keep putting war. And then they say, oh, well, let's take away your benefits, but give benefits to other countries. Whatever happened to America first, people? Oy vey. So we have Snow White, and now they've butchered it. And Snow White is the girl boss who saves the boyfriend. I'm sorry, men. Just ignore us for a while. We're just out of our fucking minds. Oh, God, women, we're insane. We've gone insane. But this is not our fault, nor is it a man's fault. This is a process that's been going on for a few thousand years. As our left brain has been emphasized, and we have been writing with our right hands, which activates our left brain, we have become more and more interested in defining the parts of reality rather than experiencing them. That's just the big difference right there. The right brain is all about the experience. You know how in a dream there aren't any words? Well, that's the right brain. She's not about words. The right brain is the lady brain, and the lady brain is about the experience and the feelings, and those things are real. They are not to be discounted. They matter. They also are how we manifest. That's why all the manifesting gurus tell you make $1 million if you do what I tell you, which is such bullshit. So much bullshit out there. Anyway, the princess. Why is the sleeping princess alone in her little glass coffin, and the prince has to fight his way through and give her a kiss? Why is this so horrible? Why is this so horrible? Well, for one reason, because we've decided that feminine is passive. We say it. We say that. We've been saying it. We say it. So what does that say to girls and women? You're passive. You're ineffective. Passive is not okay. It's weak. I don't know if you've ever been pregnant and carried a child inside your body and made a person and pushed it out through your little tiny yoni hole and then put it on your breast and fed it for a year. That's not weak. No, it's not. Nurturing is not weak. It takes a lot of strength to give up your goals and ambitions to take care of a little person that's going to be the next generation. Come on. Ay vey, it's just ridiculous. And the feminists told us that motherhood was just bullshit and boring. Rather than figuring out ways to make it more interesting and maybe have a community of women come together who share the duties and tasks that they have in common and help each other to be better parents and great mothers and wives and blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck? Anyway, boy, am I in a mood today. So the princess is, for whatever reason, let's see, Cinderella's finger is pricked with a poison needle, a spindle. Snow White bites the poison apple. Rapunzel's up in the tower. So it's about isolation, really. And the feminine is not passive. She is magnetic. I have kindergarten toys for you today. This is Mercury. This is the prince. This is Venus. Venus is the maiden archetype. Now, she is pure and lovely, but only in certain signs. Oh, I'm blocking my light. That's better. So when she's in a yin sign, like if she's in Taurus or Cancer or Virgo, not as much in Virgo, but definitely Pisces, when she's in these ultra feminine signs, she's really doing her core thing, which is receptivity, magnetic energy. Now, there's an interesting polarity in Venus, because when that maiden is asleep in a coma in her glass coffin, she is calling out to the prince. He's hearing her. It's like a pheromone experience. He's the bee to the flower. You know, that flower is projecting color that is in the spectrum of light that the bee can see. Yeah, there's a conversation here, and it's designed. It's designed by the gods. It is a godly thing. So here we have attraction. Venus is the attractor. So that girl, that young lady inside the glass coffin, comatose, is not, she's very powerful. She is not powerless. She is calling in her mate. That's a whole different perspective than she is a weak little. Where's my live stream? Fuck. Okay. Okay, so I don't know what's going on now. Something stopped, something's starting. It says live and it says the seconds are ticking. So I guess I'll pretend that we're doing this. Oh my God. This is so hard for me, this technology. All right, so the maiden then. The power of attraction, and she's magnetic. So she's pheromonal. She's calling out to the prince, her mate, you see. So the power of the feminine isn't active, it's reactive. And, we don't want to be reactionary and knee jerk and just like barf out some pathetic reaction. No, that's not what it is. Yin is about, okay, I'm receiving that yang input, I'm putting it in me because the yang goes into the yin. He penetrates her. That's what sex is. That's how sex works. All right. So, now I don't know what page I'm on. All right. So anyway, make that go away. So anyway, she pulls in that, she pulls it in and she then processes it because the feminine is a processing plant. She's going to create the new being in her body with the cells of her body, and she's using that little input of the masculine. It doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit, a little tiny guy who's so full of energy and power. Just a little bit is all you need. You put that little tiny dab inside and boom, she goes to work. So what is represented in the Disney princesses sleeping in comas and having the prince fight his way like a sperm fighting his way up the canal, right? He's got to fight his way to get in there, and then when he does, he gives the kiss, and that kiss then wakes her up. It enlivens her. It invigorates her. He brings her the heat and the warmth and the light that she needs to do that processing job. So here's our Venus. She's also the siren. So these stories of Venus in the old myths are all about her calling in the masculine. So those poor sailors, you see, they're gonna follow the voices. The sirens are the women on the island, and their voices are so beautiful. And when the men hear their voice, it calls them in, and it causes them to wreck their ships on the rocks. Well, that's the analogy that when the sperm goes into the egg, it dies. He's the sacrifice. He is the sacrifice that is his light is put into the project. You see, and that's why that works. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm still recording. I'll just keep trying till I get it right, I guess. All right. So when the feminists insist on having girls in charge and girls being action, and what's the word they're saying? Authentic? No, not authentic. We're all authentic, whether we're yin or yang. It's about taking action. Well, the first action is yang. That's the sword, the arrow penetrating. That's the light penetrating the crystal. Did you know crystals are feminine? A crystal is a physical form that's a hard rock that's clear and with facets, and when the light hits it, that breaks up the light into colors. because the light is just pure light until it hits the feminine, and the feminine transforms it into its parts. See how this works? There's always a dance. There's always a dance going on. So now, interesting as it is to see the feminine is this physical attractor. So what is the masculine? Well, the partner to Venus, I'm going to block my light again. The partner to Venus is Mercury, not Mars. And we always say Venus and Mars are the sexy couple, but the real couple is Venus with Mercury, because Mercury is the breeze, the air that moves towards her. So as she exudes her pheromones, he brings in his ideas. He brings a message. It's like, this is a message. This is the idea I have for us. Here you go, lady. And she will then breathe in his message. So what does the prince do? He kisses her on the lips so she can breathe in the message, you see. This stuff is just real basic, but it seems like we have, for some reason, forgotten it because we thought it wasn't important. Why? Because we keep writing with our hand rather than experiencing with our entire self. See how that goes? So, when the feminists decide that women have to be like men, we're losing lots of dancing. We're losing interaction. If you see on my diagrams, Mercury over here and Venus over here, these are the partners. And where's Mars? Mars is here. So when the two partners come together, then you have the sexy time. That's an event. These are characters, Venus and Mercury. Those are like people. They're characters. But the activity they do together, that's in the middle, and that's Mars. Mars is the act of the two together. It's not just the fighting and the cutting. If you don't have someone to fight or cut, then there's nothing going on. You know, and they always say, "Oh, Mars is masculine," but Mars is I have to think of a better word for the middle. I made up one word. I call it Zhen, because you know there's Yin is feminine and Yang is masculine. So I'm saying, well, the center is Zhen. I don't know if I made it up. Someone told me that. I liked it, but I don't know. Anyway, what I mean by that is in the middle is where the action is. The real activities of being, the real essential interactions that we all experience every day that we call being alive. Mars is being alive. I get so mad. I get so frustrated. I have so much love. Mars, Sun. I have so many fearful things that just terrify me and make me change into something I don't recognize. And down at the bottom here, there we go. It's covered up with this banner. And that's our earth. That's our kingdom, our queendom. So the king's up here, but where's he going to go? He's got to have a place to put his light. If he doesn't have a place to put his light, then nobody knows about his light. It's real simple. Your sun sign in astrology then is what you want people to see about you and what your soul wants to express in this time. But until you have the relationship of it with your Mars and your moon, that's up and down this line in the middle, then you know you're not really completing the story. Which is why in astrology we can learn how to integrate these different parts of ourselves. And I find that very helpful. I've been a seeker all my life. I've had lots of issues that I had to solve, and it's been harrowing at times. But what I've learned from the metaphysical studies that I've done is that I can qualify these different experiences that may have been very unpleasant and say, well, what did I get from that? How did I learn from that? And most importantly, for someone like me, is to say, what was my part in that bad experience or that good experience? What did I do to facilitate my own failures or successes? And that, when you get a handle on that, it's very helpful. So I think that we're doing the young people, especially you young people, a big disservice, because honestly, the classics of mythology, just reading about those things would be really helpful for you so that you wouldn't have to be so unhappy. Because from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of unhappiness in the world. I'm feeling very sad lately. Possibly it's all the murder and bombing. I mean, you can't just go along and ignore that. A lot of people want to because they want to be ascended masters, or I don't know. And it's hard. It's definitely hard. But it affects us. Don't you know that? You know, if you're not up to par, if you're not feeling wonderful, well, look at what is going on in the world. There are people that have too much. They have too much. I think the best time in the last century was from the New Deal on until the 80s, when they started to say, okay, well, you can now, all, you know, they redistributed the wealth. I think that is actually a righteous thing to do. People all had homes, men had a job, women took care of their children. And I'm sorry if you think that's regressive, but it was really a good time. We had hope. We had a car. We had food to eat. And we really, I don't know if our votes counted then. I think they did. But now we've come to a place where it's hard to exist for more and more people. And I think that bending these archetypes helps us to get out of where we need to be. In other words, I think bending these archetypes isn't helpful to our well-being, because the power of a woman is to react in a way that's productive. You take this feminine body and you make it produce something. In a marriage, you take this feminine reaction that you have to what your man has done, and you think and you respond in a way that manipulates him. That's what we do. But we don't do it by, oh, you better do this. That's not okay. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes a girl boss. It's not good. And when Venus is in other signs that she's not compatible with, like when Venus is in Virgo, she's too goddamn picky. When she's in Aries, she's too flighty. When she's in Capricorn, she might be pretty serious, but that's not so bad, because if she gets a man who can cheer her up a little bit, you see how that could work. But I'm just saying, there are just so many important stories that we're missing and that have been altered, and the reason that it's not helpful is that they don't fit. It's not a good fit to have the young maiden rush out and save a boy twice her size with double strength of her. That's just dumb. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh, that's kind of dumb. Why are they doing that? We don't need to do that. We need to know ourselves better. We need to understand these archetypes, these stories. The princess in a coma waiting for calling in the prince. She's not just waiting, she's calling him in. How do you think he finds her through all the brambles and the blackberry bushes? He has to cut his way with a machete. How does he find Cinderella, the right foot for the shoe? There is an energy that she calls him to her. And that is what the feminine does. And we women have been trained out of it for many centuries. We were trained, they said we were witches because we have this instinctive reaction to our environment. It's like, oh, I feel that. Oh, I know you're going to call me. Oh, we're very witchy. And that's part of the feminine is having that sense of what's going on around me. I feel something. I smell it. What is that? And then you look and you go, okay. And you wait then, and you wait and you go, oh. And pretty soon it comes around and aha, that's it. You see, but that's how we operate as females, as feminines. And when we're told that that's not okay, there's generations of displaced women. Just for me, my poor granny, my poor mommy, their mommies. Just generations of women who were told that their basic being was wrong or just completely ignored. Because what does the left brain do? The left brain only knows that he's around, and it's a boy brain. It's the hunter. And he knows, boy brain knows, okay, there's that, and I'll call it such and such. He can name all the parts. He likes to cut things up and put the name on the parts. That's what the scientists are doing now. But guess what? Science is about the physical world, so that should be in the women's domain. Ideas are in the masculine domain. That's where you cut things up and think and parse and all that. Philosophy, very masculine. The lady side, that is the side where she sees the big picture, the forest. She also sees the left, and she knows her hunter is there to protect her. She knows her hunter is there because he can tell her, well, wait a minute, that's a green thing. That's a green thing over there. That's a blue thing. Look at that big thing that's coming towards you. Look, he's very helpful, you see. He's like a sentinel. And she knows he's there for her protection. But he doesn't know that she's there. He thinks he's the only one, which is another step in one of my diatribes, which is about monotheism. I think monotheism is left brain in charge. That's for another video. I'm tired. 28 minutes, it says. I don't even know if you heard me or you can see me. We shall see. And I would like to say, before I close, that my book is published. I'll show it to you. This is my editor copy. The Tao of Astrology is published on Amazon, and it's in the links below. Okay. So buy my book, please, because I need the money. I need the fame. I need the cash. I need it all. And here's my flyer. Oh, yeah, class is coming up in Coos Bay. Astrology classes at the library. So that's fun. Here's my, if you want to do that thingy doodler and you can, do that. Clicky doodle on the thingy doodle. I don't know the words. I do not know the words. Oh, see, and I put my picture on the back. Being so cute. But really what I mean is to have fun. What I mean is to have fun with this. Because if you start to get a handle on the characters in your life, then you can start being in charge of yourself. Because, it's like when I am feeling, I'm feeling really low right now because I think my thyroid meds are off. But if I'm feeling really low, I can think, well, okay, what is it about my low points in my chart? Well, I have Sun square Jupiter and square Saturn. That's called a T-square. So when that happens and my self-esteem drops, I'm going, okay, well, something's affecting those characters in my map, in the Jewell Starsinger play. And I think, okay, well, so let me see. My Sun's in the first house. Jupiter's in the 10th. That means that all this stuff I'm trying to do online is so frustrating. It's not easy. It's hard. Things aren't working. I don't cry. So, see, there's that. And that makes me then feel bad about what? My Sun in the first. It makes me feel sad about my bright light. Because what I'm trying to do in the world is frustrating and hard. And then the opposite of that then is Saturn down in the bottom of the chart. And that's like saying, well, you never could do anything very well because you're always just kind of a screw up. And, well, yeah, that old, never, no, you never did it right. You never knew. That voice. Now, that voice is squaring my Sun, my light. So I'm like, stop it. Stop it. So I know what story's going on. I'm feeling ick, and I still feel ick, but I understand why it's icky. I know those people. I know those people inside of me. They are having a conversation right now, and I have to listen. I have to listen to that. And I have to, for me, I'm a talker. I'm a Gemini. So I'm going to talk myself off that ledge. I'll show you those characters. I guess I was going to sign off and now I'm not. Who knows if I still am going? I don't know. So these people, there's Jupiter and Saturn. Now, they have Saturn. Astrologers have had Saturn as a dude, but Saturn's not a dude. Saturn rules all the feminine objects of the world. The physical world is the feminine aspect of God. And Saturn is a granny energy, an old lady, a matron, not a matron, a crone. And Jupiter is the king on the mountain, and Saturn is the queen up on the mountain. This is a pair. So she's very restrictive and limiting. And we always think, oh, men limit us and restrict. No, they do not. Men do not limit and restrict us. Men do this. They preach, they travel, they're fiery, they expand, and they have mercy and beauty. That is masculine. Feminine is crystal, the mountain, status. I'm going to get on top of you. Effort, accomplishment, respect, and queen. Saturn is feminine. Yeah. So my lady part is like, she's a little, and it's cold and it's dark. Yeah. And also they say, well, because it's death. It's the doorway to death, Saturn, because it's the last planet that you can see with your eyeballs. And so it means you're going out the gate when you hit Saturn, like me, you're ready to hit the gate. So I'm like, oh shit. But death is feminine. That the feminine body. I mean, and then she takes it and she rots it down, and it's mulch and it's nutrients. That's what's wrong with modern agriculture, even our gardens and yards with all the green yard. They take the leaves and they throw them away instead of let them lay on the ground to nurture the soil of that tree. Then they put chemicals on the tree instead. Well, that's just unnecessary. All right. So point being, when this old lady starts telling me I'm not good enough, which is her inclination, she's inclined to do so. Then her husband, this Jupiter, this king, he comes up, do 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 do. Oh, aren't you so funny with your little sad mood? Ha ha ha. Here, let me give you a hug. And I'll give you a little poke too if you let me. Ha 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 ha. That's Jupiter. He's jolly. Saturn is dour. And I don't know if you know, I listen, it's not easy being a woman. It's not easy being a man. But if we know our energies, if we understand how we're made, it's easier. Because I don't have to be so down on myself when I'm all cranky and moody and critical and selfish and jealous. Those are all feminine things. Because I can let Jupiter just come in and soothe me. I do this all by myself. I wouldn't mind having a husband. If you know anybody that might like to be my husband, let me know, because I think it's time. I need someone. I need my Jupiter. Yeah? All right. Someday my prince will come, even at my age. All right. So 36 minutes. I don't know if it's on or not, but if it is, that was good. Yes? Your princess is not a helpless victim of some stalking boy. I'm sorry, Miss actress who says that stuff, because she's a young girl who doesn't know any better and was taught wrong. That poor child. The joy of having a man come to you and hold you and swing you around in the room and dance and give you a kiss and want to be in you. Oh, that is so amazing. We just have to figure out how to not just let anybody into our body. This is something that they forgot to tell the girls. In my generation, they told us to let anybody in because it would be fun. And it wasn't. It was humiliating. It made me feel filthy. It turned me into a little whore. All I'm saying is these young women need to understand that making it special is important. It's a sexual universe. There's a god and a goddess. God has a wife, and they're always doing it in the middle of the tree. And we are the product of their erotic act. If they stopped their erotic act, we would disappear. That's what I believe. There you go. Okay, end broadcast. Bye-bye. I hope it worked. Love you.